Alright, what's going on, guys? Welcome to today's video. So in today's video, I thought I would kind of come on here and talk about the 5 fat loss mistakes that I made when just kind of trying to lose fat and dieting. So I thought by making this video, hopefully I would be able to help you guys out, help you from avoid making some of the mistakes that I made. So yeah, alright, let's just jump right into it with number 1. Okay, so number 1 fat loss diet mistake I made was going too hard too fast. And by that I mean, so by going hard too fast, I mean like severely dropping your calories and just adding in as much cardio as you can, just playing all your cards at once basically. So for example, say your maintenance calories are 2,500 calories and you're like, alright, I'm gonna lose some fat. So you drop them right down to 1,700 calories immediately. Well, yeah, you're gonna lose fat for the first couple weeks, but then after that you're gonna plateau and then you have nowhere to go with that. Like, you're already eating 1,700 calories, you can't pull any calories out of that. So logically, what do? You add in a bunch of cardio. So you add in 50 minutes of cardio and then you start losing fat again, but then after a couple weeks you're gonna plateau again. And then what do? You're adding in more cardio. You can only do so much cardio before your legs fall off, and you can only take out so many calories until you're just eating lettuce and celery, and then you're gonna die. So make sure you just consistently and slowly drop your calories. Sorry, your maintenance calories, 2,500 calories. You want to start losing some weight, go 2,400 calories, wait a couple weeks, 2,300 calories, 22, 21, 2,000. I've learned that now. I was making drastically big drops in my calorie level. So like I said, I'd go from 2,100 calories to 1,800 calories. I was like, okay, I need to lose fat and I need to lose it now. But no, in the long run, you're just gonna be starving yourself and you're just gonna hit plateaus and then have nowhere to go. So fat loss diet mistake number 2 that I made was snacking. Honestly, like I've talked about this in one of my Instagram posts, and snacking's a killer. I always thought, I was like, okay, I'd have like a couple blueberries here during the day, a few pieces of granola, a couple bits of cereal. But at the end of the day, that adds up to 100, 200 calories, 15, 20 grams of carbs, whatever it is. It's gonna add up into your total daily calorie intake, and then you're gonna be putting yourself out of that deficit. So you're in a 500 calorie deficit, you're eating 200 calories worth of snacks and junk. Well, then you're only in a 300 calorie deficit and you wonder why you don't lose fat. So make a diet that you can stick to where you're not hungry, you're not going to want to be snacking. I mean, obviously when you're losing fat, you're going to be hungry because you're dieting. That's just how it goes. But try to avoid snacking, picking at little blueberries and stuff. If you want to have a little snack, factor it into your macros. Okay, I'm gonna have 50 grams of blueberries right now. Factor that into your macros instead of just eating, and then you end up having 150 grams of blueberries, and then there's like 200 calories, and your calorie deficit is shot. So try to avoid snacking as best as you can. So a fat loss diet mistake number 3 that I made was unnecessary refeed days. You guys can scroll back to the beginning of my channel, and I have a video on one of my refeed days, and looking back at it now, I really did not need the refeed day. So refeed days basically is when you severely increase your carb intake. So say 450, 500 grams of carbs for the day, because your body's looking flat and your glycogen levels are depleted. So you want to restore those glycogen levels so that you can continue to lose fat after that. So basically your body just gets a little bit of a refeed, it keeps going, your metabolism keeps firing to continue burning fat when you throw in those 450, 500 grams of carbs. But the thing is, if you're not that lean that you don't need it, like sub 10% body fat levels that you don't need it, then those extra carbs are just going to be stored as fat because it's calories in versus calories out. So you're still having 2,800 calories that day, regardless of if it's clean carbs or not. It's still an excess amount of calories that your body is going to be storing as fat. So unless you are super lean and you know that you need those refeed days, try to avoid unnecessary refeed days, because you're really just using it as basically a huge cheat day just to eat. Like, and I think I was eating like healthy ice cream. I mean, yes, there is healthy ice cream. Miss Fields fudge brownie. No! But still, I was eating like a pint of ice cream because I was like, oh, I have room for the carbs. No! Like, looking back at it now, what the was I thinking? Like, if I don't need the refeed, why? You're just pushing yourself back in your progress. So if you can, just avoid having unnecessary refeed days. Have a diet that you're gonna stick to. That's just the main point. Diet and fat loss mistake number 4, and this was a big one looking back at some of the photos of myself, is dieting when you don't have enough muscle mass to show it. So I remember back in like May, I went to Florida. So 10 weeks leading up to that, I was like, okay, I'm gonna diet down for vacation. I'm gonna look super lean, super shredded, striations everywhere. And no, it just didn't happen. Like, I'll throw up some photos here. So here is the beginning of my 10-week cut, and here is the end of the 10-week cut. Do you see much of a difference? No. I don't look lean and shredded and cut everywhere. I just look skinny, because looking back at it now, I didn't have enough muscle mass built, so when I cut down to show it, I had only been training prior to that like 6-7 months, and the whole time that I started training, I was in a calorie deficit, because for those of you who don't know, I used to be like 250 pounds, super heavy. So my main goal at the beginning of working out was just to get a little bit skinnier, lose some body fat, and that. So the whole time that I was training, I was in a calorie deficit, so I wasn't gaining any muscle mass whatsoever. Like, yeah, obviously when you start training, you're gonna gain some muscle mass, but you need to be eating in a slight caloric surplus to gain muscle mass. So looking back at it now, I really just became more skinny from dieting to go on vacation. Like, yeah, you can see my abs in those 2 photos, but here's a photo of me a couple weeks ago eating 3,000 calories, and my abs look better at 3,000 calories than they did when I was eating 1,700 calories there in those photos. So honestly, you just gotta build the muscle mass first to be able to show it. So that was a huge mistake that I made, and I just look skinny. So I suffered for 10 weeks dieting. Yeah, I looked kind of good, but I didn't have striations and chest striations and everything. That's some of which I have now at 3,000 calories. Like, and I'm honestly, so in the lowest I got before going on vacation was 170 pounds. 170 pounds. I was 245 pounds last June. So I got really skinny, and right now at this body fat percentage, what I'm sitting at is around 183 pounds. And I look better than I did at 170 pounds because I actually have muscle mass. So just really make sure before you diet that you have enough muscle mass that you're actually gonna see the difference in your physique. Otherwise, there's just really no point in dieting because you're just gonna get skinny like me. Okay, and the 5th and final diet fat loss mistake that I made is prolonging the diet. So like I said, I was going on vacation in May. I had 10 weeks leading up to that I was gonna diet for. So those 10 weeks, strictly diet, focus on the diet, cut super hard. And then once you get back from the vacation, you kind of slowly dial it back in, start reverse dieting and adding calories back in. That's what you'd normally do. But me, I thought, oh, okay, I went on vacation for 2 weeks. I probably put on some fat mass. So I'm probably gonna diet for another 6 weeks super hard. No, my hormones were shot from dieting. I was eating around 35 to 40 grams of fat a day, which is awful for your hormone levels. So my hormone levels were just absolutely. So in order to get those hormone levels back to normal, you need to eat a normal and consistent diet, actually have some healthy fat, so 60, 70 grams of fat. But no, instead I decided, okay, I'm gonna come back because I was scared of getting fat. I left on vacation 170 pounds. I came back 183 pounds. And was that all fat mass? No. A lot of it was water retention because traveling, airplane travel holds water retention, as well as all the carbs and everything I was having while I was in Florida were holding a lot of water retention. So did I probably gain a couple of pounds? Yeah. Did I gain 13 pounds of fat? No. But I was scared that I gained 13 pounds of fat, so I decided that I was gonna diet for another 6, 8, maybe 10 weeks, and I kept prolonging the diet until like the end of August, and then I finally decided, I'm like, okay, it's time to get out of this calorie deficit and finally start eating some normal calories. So don't prolong the diet, have a set time. So, all right, I'm gonna diet for 12 weeks starting this day, and I'm gonna end on this day. That's the end of my 12 weeks. And then after that 12 weeks, that doesn't mean you can binge eat and just go eat Ben & Jerry's and burgers, but no, start to reverse diet. So reverse diet is like you add 50 calories in a week, or bump up right off the bat, like just a couple hundred calories to your maintenance level calories, and then slowly each week you add 50 calories in, 50 to 100 calories, depending on how your body's responding to it. If your body fat level and your weight is jumping through the roof, then yeah, you need to dial it back down a bit. But otherwise, if your body's not putting on any body fat, then yeah, you continue to raise your calories a little bit. Don't prolong the diet for 6 months like I did, because then in the end you're just gonna burn yourself out and you're gonna be stuck there spinning your wheels. I wasn't losing any fat, I wasn't gaining any muscle, I wasn't doing anything, I was just staying at where I was at. So anyways, that is my 5 fat loss diet mistakes that I made during dieting and just trying to lose fat. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope this helps some of you guys on your fat loss journey if that so is your goal. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to drop a like on the video, subscribe down below, click that little red subscribe button, and with that out of the way, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.